Hi everybody, it's LP here and welcome to my new series featuring the Universim by Critivo Games. Now, I'm here in a different world that I've already been playing, and there's a reason for that. Up front, I want to explain something to everyone watching this game. The Universim is currently in a very early alpha form. It is by no means a final release because the gang at Critivo have some big plans for this game and they have by no means been implemented fully. Now, a couple things you should know. There are only two technology levels available, Stone Age and Pre-Medieval, and most buildings can only be upgraded once. So some can't even be upgraded at all, which is kind of frustrating for more casual players, but people like me who love God games, which this is, and who love watching the development process of a game, which I do, that's who this series is for. This is going to give you a basic idea of how gameplay goes. I'm going to show you how to do all the fun stuff that you can do so far with this game, and I think we're going to have a good time. I've noticed a lot of YouTubers pick up this game and then put it down because you can only do so much with it, but like I said, it's an alpha. It's constantly being worked on and updated. In fact, I think Critivo has a gift for us all here very soon in the form of the medieval technological level. They've been previewing some buildings on Twitter. It's been really cool. So without further ado, let's leave this world behind, one of my most successful civilizations, by the way, and get down to brass tacks in a brand new world here in the Universim. Alright everybody, here we are in Critivo Games, the Universim, where the question is proposed, what would you do with the power? And that of course means, what would you do if you were God? We're going to find out right now. We're here in the loading screen. It's going to look a little jumpy because my hardware isn't the greatest, but it can play this game, and hopefully it is going to allow me to share it with you. So we are going to go ahead and click Start a New Life and get a brand new mother planet. Now, the loading process takes a while, and I'm sure you don't want to sit through that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a nice little fluid fade cut. Alright, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mother Planet. It is going to be our home for the remainder of this series until the next update comes out. And that's only if that update doesn't allow us to continue on in this world. Now, Mother Planets generate at random. They have lakes, different biomes. Your job is to find a suitable place to start a civilization. That's right, we're building a civilization. Now, this nice big ocean right here is definitely a candidate, especially the part right in here. If we look at this, there's a ton of trees. There's a mountain biome right here, which we can use to put down a stone mine later. And, yeah, it looks like there's some rocks here as well, so we can get some early sources of stone. So what we're going to do is we are going to first place the evolution tower. This is your evolution tower. This is where all your research is going to be done, and your entire Nugget civilization is going to be built around it. Now, you can rotate it using the Q and E keys. So if you want to get some precise placement, if you want to satisfy your OCD, if you're that kind of god, you can do that kind of thing. So we're going to go ahead and pop down our evolution tower. Yes. We are going to tell it to skip the tutorial because, ladies and gentlemen, I am your tutorial. Now, right away, they are going to build the love tower over here, and this is the only time we can look at it for some reason. Then they're going to break off and start building stone huts, and in the meantime, we are going to click on the evolution tower, and we are going to research our technologies. Now, divine punishment increases the chance that you will get twins by 50%. We don't want that till later in the game. For the special technologies, which are orange, green, and purple, you can only do those one at a time. So we're going to go ahead and go for footwear. And in the meantime, these are your standard technologies, if you want to call them that. We have the primitive waterworks, primitive tools, and nugget clothing. So, of course, we want the waterworks first. Then we want primitive tools, then we want clothing. Now you'll see here, waterworks. Waterworks is going to get done in a hurry. Now you can use WASD to slowly rotate your planet around, and it's going to look real choppy in this video because of my hardware. Oh, dearie my. Recording with slobs, folks. It is real. But here's what we're going to do. Once the primitive waterworks research is over, we are going to go into the build menu, which is right here, the construction menu. We're going to go in here. We're going to go over to the resources tab, and we are going to pick the water pump. We're going to go ahead and throw down 2 of these, actually, because I like to go overkill in the early days of a colony or civilization. See, they're over here building a stone hut. Now, you really have to watch. These are your nuggets right down here. See, there's a nugget right there. Let's follow this nugget. Click on the nugget. That's a Samka. And that is the adult nugget. We get 2 adult nuggets and 2 kid nuggets to start off with. And you really have to watch because these nuggets will go wherever. They will expand any which way they can find. They really don't have any kind of predetermined plan for settlement. And you really can't guide them. Once again, alpha game. So there's really no way to guide them yet. Although there are plans in the future, from what I hear, for zoning, like construction zoning. Here, go clear these trees. Here, go mine this stone. And quite possibly also building management, where you can tell them, okay, this is a residential neighborhood. Go build stone huts here for Pete's sake, and don't go, say halfway around this giant lake here or this giant lake here. They could do either one. It's kind of scary. So we're going to put the 2 water pumps on this lake, and I think we're going to, I think we're going to leave it at just the 2 water pumps. Now, the reason why the stone hut does not have any water is because we don't have any water pumps. Now, next, this is where we're going to get food production. So we're going to go for fishing. Then we're going to go for cooking. Then we're going to go for storage areas so we can build the warehouse. And then we're going to go for let the hunt begin. That is the new mechanic that we will get into in a future episode. Right now, we are primarily concerned with getting civilization off the ground. So let's go down here and check out the progress on these water pumps. All right, nuggets are hammering away, and they have finished the water pump. Now, the water pumps are going to start out at 30 output, okay? And that means each building that has a water use will take a chunk of that 30. Like, say, for example, the stone hut. See, it's got a water use of 2. That will take 2 off of that. So down here is our main water supply and usage gauge. It's meant to be clickable, but it's not yet. But anyway, you have 30 total water output and 2 usage. So we're going to finish the second water pump, and you'll see this jump right up to 60. Now, while that's being finished, we're going to move on to resource management here and get out the reservoir. Of course, the reservoir, as the name implies, is going to store water just in case the pumps can't handle it. Buildings will draw from that reservoir, and they will keep going until you can resolve your water pump problems. So we're going to go ahead and let them build that while we also wait for them to finish up with their research on fishing. And when we come back, we will get food established. Now, if you listen, sometimes the nuggets will spit out little comments. Some nugget hurt his or her finger as they are building the reservoir. Okay. Now, one of the very important early things you're going to need as the footwear research completes. Let's see, elbow grease or pulley system? Elbow grease. I think we're going to go for elbow grease right now. The reservoir is finished, so our nuggets are once again free to go gather resources. One of the things you're going to need early on is the engineers. So we're going to go over here to Epicenter and get the engineers. And we're also going to get out a well. Now, the well, of course, is where the nuggets will find safe drinking water, which is an absolute must for nugget health. Let me see if I can find a place to drop this. Apparently not, so I'm going to put it right here next to this stone hut. There we go. And then we're also going to get in here and go to Epicenter. This is where all your central core functioning buildings are. We're going to go over here, and we are going to get some engineers. Now, these nuggets here, when you assign a nugget to the job of engineer, what's going to happen is they are going to run around and fix your buildings. If you look at this, let's use the example of the stone hut right here. Here's the stone hut. See, it has this meter going around this orange button here. That's its wear and tear. And if that goes down, it's going to need repaired. Like, also, for example, this building here is pretty old, the water pump. it's starting to get wear and tear. So ultimately, you will want tons of engineers around and handy to fix buildings, and you want to stick them every so often in your little nugget civilization just to make sure that you don't have any buildings crumbling to dust. Now, we've missed it, but the nuggets have made a baby. They have started reproducing. They go into their little hut and do this funny little animation. It's so cute. But ultimately, yes, that's how you are going to spread your civilization. You are going to give your nuggets the tools and the know-how in order to create a great, great civilization. Now we have food available, and early days, we are going to use the fishing pier. Now we're going to stick, I think, one over here is probably the best bet, so we don't end up overfishing this tiny little lake here. We'll stick more on the other lake on the other side of this little isthmus, and that is what that little strip of land is called. It is called an isthmus. If you really want more info, you can look up the nation of Panama. It sits on an isthmus. But anyway, the stone hut, where did they build another stone hut? Oh, over here. See, what I tell you, nuggets, it's just willy-nilly with these guys. And look at them. They're idiots. They're drinking out of the lake. So let's see, where are we at with this well? This well's almost built. The engineers is almost built. We're going to throw down another well over here just to make sure our nuggets do not drink themselves into sickness and death, because that would just be not good. All right, cooking research. That means we can set up an eatery as well. But for right now, I think it's too important to get the fishing hut up and running. Really, it's not going to do much for us this first year because it'll be built so late in the year. And winter comes, fishing huts shut down. They do nothing over the course of the winter because clearly the lake will freeze. But for right now, we definitely want it getting food for us. Oh, use your words, Eric. All right, so we are going to wait for these buildings to finish up. One well is done, the engineers is being built, and Nuggets will gather resources to build this well. Aw, look at the little turtle. Let it be known, ladies and gentlemen, the Universim had turtles before Minecraft did. So we're going to come over here and we're going to find that our engineers is finished and our well is just about to go up. So once we have a couple of drinking spots established for nuggets, they should no longer want to wander to the side of the lake to get a drink, which will completely, hopefully, eliminate the chances they will have of actually getting sick. It looks like the last of the supplies is being dropped off. Yep. Now all we need are the nuggets to come over and physically build the thing. Here they come. All right, while they're doing that, we are going to go ahead and dictate the final two constructs of this episode. The first one being we already have available. That is the eatery. The elbow grease research is done. Let's hurry up and, we want damn it. This will increase the power output of the pump by 15. It'll go from 30 to 45. And we just got the fishing pier. It looks like we'll be able to dictate some jobs. All right, first structure to go up over here in this little bit is going to, of course, be the eatery. This is the restaurant where all the nuggets will come to get cooked meals. Cooked meals, so much better for nuggets than raw food. And then over here, we are going to build another building, but that is for another moment because we are going to come up here while we wait for the research to get done. Of course, we want to build a warehouse. We're going to go over here and we are going to find ourselves a relatively young nugget, Sam Zuba. You, my dear, are now a fisherman. Or fisherwoman, or fisher nugget. Is there really a proper way to say that in this game? But anyway, the well is up over here. That's good. And now they're going to come over here and start chopping their trees. When you put down a construction site in the woods or on top of some rocks or something, the nuggets will first come and clear everything off. And you notice it's fall now. The deciduous trees, as opposed to the evergreens, have changed to a lovely shade of orange. And in fact, I believe they get around to all colors eventually. No, it looks like just a majority orange. We'll see what the developers have in mind once we get closer and closer to beta stage. But once again, for right now, this is alpha gameplay. It looks as if, though, my nuggets are doing pretty good right now. All the wood they could ever need is already inside the structure. They're going to go get some stone, and when we come back, The research for the warehouses should be done, and this eatery should be built. All right, warehouse research is indeed complete. This building is indeed going up, and we will be able to feed Nuggets Momentita. But first, because the warehouse research is complete, we want to go over here and build the actual warehouse. We can find that in the resource management tab. There it is. Now we are going to rotate this one around to here. So, because we definitely want it to face towards our Nuggets paths. Keep them, relatively somewhat organized. As you build buildings, it will dictate where they do pathfinding. That is actually a new feature here in the Universim, is Nugget pathing. The Nuggets will, as they move around in common paths, they will wear down little spots in the ground, creating, clearly, paths. Oh man, Eric, you are a linguistic gymnast. Anyway, let's go ahead and assign a nugget to the eatery. That will allow our one nugget to come in here and start cooking the raw food that we have. Now, we don't have much raw food. It's right here, 22. See down here is my little food gauge. This is, I believe, number of cooked meals here. That's at 0. And this is the number of raw food, which is currently at 22, which I believe will be enough to get 7 nuggets through the winter, especially when we only have 2 working nuggets right now. We have 1 nugget actually, should probably be unassigned. This is something I do occasionally. You can also turn the building off like that and stop the water usage over the winter. But then you got to hurry up when spring comes back and turn it back on. And you really got to manage it if you're going to do that. But for right now, we are going to get the warehouse built. This is where we're going to store wood, food, stone, and the like. So when we come back, the warehouse should be up. There's plenty of loose rock over here, folks. Come find it. You don't need to go mine more. Oh, he had to go mine more, but these two are smart. These two come over here and pick up the loose stone. All right, we'll come back once the warehouse is built. Oh, looky here. It's happy time in Nugget Land. We're going to have a brand new baby nugget here in a little bit. And that nugget will go through about a 1-year childhood. There he is. Let's see. Kumuval. Kumuval, welcome to the world. Now it's time to go see how construction is progressing on our warehouse. Looks like it's going up fairly good. Let's see. Yeah, it should be done here relatively shortly, and then I'll show you what the warehouse can be configured to do, and I think we'll call it an episode there. So let's actually zoom out a little bit. There we go, and we can see the warehouse. And click on the warehouse, and you can tell it what to allow in and what not to allow into its storage areas. You can cut out, this is refined stone, you can add it back in. You can refined wood, add it back in, wood and stone. These are herbs. These are used by the hospital, which we will get later on. And now the hunter's hut has just completed. So that sounds like as good a place as any to end the episode. I'm going to zoom in here on my evolution tower. If you like God games, if you like the Universim, if you like indie games in general, please stick around. There's going to be plenty more of the Universim. I've got other series getting started. My channel is back. Now, if you really like what you see, what I'm doing here, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you really like what you see, smash that notification bell. Get notified whenever I put up more Universim videos and more indie games videos all together. In the meantime, I will see you guys later. Try not to play too hard. Have fun.